Hello everybody, my name is Temariaaa, and I'm recording a very requested video today. A lot of you guys have seen my How to Catch an IUH tutorial, and I have something to admit to you. That video was almost entirely a joke back in April. I think it was like April 10th of this year. I was on a break from Twitch streaming, and I had been binging this game like crazy. And I figured, you know, it might be funny to make a video that I thought would do well, see if it did okay, and then just never touch the channel again. So, we are returning and doing it the right way. I will be giving you actual information this time. And, we could consider this my first real tutorial. A video of my first fake tutorial. So, let's start. Step 1 is definitely to know the IUH colors so that you can recognize them. Most of them are pretty easy and they stand out really well. Like Cheesecake here is a Moonstone IUH. I'd say the best islands, if you don't have really good eyesight to find an IUH, are going to be Lunar or Volcano, as they have the most recognizable ones. However, there are some IUH colors like the pearls that you can recognize them based on light. My best information I can give you is there are some colors, for example, obsidian, that hardly stand out, sorry. And usually they also respond to light, just in a different way. So as you can see, Flint's tail here shines. But the easiest way to tell that he was an IUH and not regular is the lines on their mane and tail. Let me explain. This is a regular black mane and tail. You can tell because all hair has these lines on it. We're using my Frisian for this. All forms of hair have these lines on the regular texture. IUH horses will not because they have ore or a different kind of texture. They don't have a hair texture. So that's the easiest way. A good way to find these if you think that you can't see them is to turn your brightness up. Because especially on black hair, the lines become way more obvious. With a higher brightness. These are the types of IUH horses on every island. On Blizzard, we have Icy Blue, Icy White, Icy Pink, and Icy Black. Over on Forest, we have Leafy, Flowery, Pearly, and Pearly Green. On Royal, we have Leathery, Clear Quartz, Cowprint, and Pearly Pink. On Desert, we have Limestone, Ruby, Sandstone, Zebra Print, and Pearly Red. Over to Mountain, we have Diamond, Sapphire, Pink Cowprint, and Pearly Orange. On Jungle, we have Topaz, Emerald, Amethyst, Mossy, and Tiger Stripes. On Lunar, we have Moonstone, Obsidian, Neon Purple, Neon Blue, and Pearly Blue. And finally, over on Volcano, we have Prismatic, Volcanic Orange, Volcanic Black, and Pearly Black. I'll give you guys a moment just to screenshot this screen if you need it, but I also have this screen present in 3 of my other videos. Now that you know what kinds of IUH horses are on each island, you can determine a path you want to take to run that island, making sure that you hit every spawn. I've made a little diagram to show you guys all of my pathing, and I'll show it to you guys right now. I've removed my PNG because this is a slide that you guys need to be able to see in its entirety. These are all of the routes that I take around each island with the exclusion of mainland. The reason these are so important is because these are the quickest ways to hit every spawn on every island. Go ahead and pause the video, I'll leave you guys a second to get a screenshot of these maps. The next thing you need to figure out is what kind of lassos you're going to have. This means that you have to find out what kind of resources you are going to buy and how much of each. I suggest always buying 100 lassos, so I will go ahead and show you guys the cost of all of these resources depending on what tier you'd like to use. Certain materials take 3 to create a lasso, whereas some take 2. The good measure between this is desert. So for example, gold will take 3 gold and 1 rope to make a gold lasso, whereas anything ruby and above will take only 2. The reason for this is because as the materials get more expensive, they really require less of them to make lassos. This is of course, calculated into how many you need for 100 lassos. Personally, I use bronze as 100 of them. Only comes down to about 6,300. That is not at all counting the amount for 100 rope, which ends up being 5,000. I'm going to go ahead and put some conversions up. I'm going to put them for gold and below first, and then you guys will go ahead and get to see ruby and above second. As you can see here, these are your lasso expenses for 100 lassos on the more basic ores. These start at the cheapest with wood all the way up to the most expensive of the basics with gold. With these ores here, you will always have to buy 300 of them to make 100 lassos. The cost of 100 rope is 5,000 tokens, so you can see at the total lasso cost, I've added 5,000 to each of the costs of the original resources. This is the entire token amount that you will need, provided you are going to buy and not mine your resources for 100 of each type of lasso. And on this image here, these are your expensives. You will only need to buy 200 of these, provided you want to use them for 100 lassos, as each of their recipes only requires 2 of each ore. We have ruby at the cheapest and prismatic at the highest. Personally, I don't really use any of these unless I've accidentally mined some of them, and I just really need to get rid of them. I would mostly suggest the cheaper ones, but you know, if you guys want the cost of the more expensive ones, here they are. The minimum cost, say you wanted 100 ruby lassos, is 33,200. Say you wanted 100 prismatic lassos, the total cost is 87,000 tokens. Now again, I don't know why anybody would want to use any of these tiers, but you do you. If you have the money, you go for it. For my video example today, I'll be using bronze. I really already have 50, so I'm gonna buy 150 bronze to make another 50. I also need 50 rope. There we go. Now I'm just gonna go craft these into the rest of the lassos I need. Alright, and now we have 100 bronze lassos. So really the method that I prefer is usually going to be run and refresh, which is really easy. I don't even have to show it to you guys, I can just explain it. If you are using a private server, you just leave the server and come back. The method I'm showing you guys here now is going to be mass clearing. So really all you do is you're going to take your little lassos. I would usually pick 2 islands for this, 2 or 3. And that's just because some of them, for example, Lunar and Volcano, don't have as many spawns as, say, Jungle would. Jungle's got like 21, Lunar's got 10, and Volcano has 7. So if you're going to be choosing larger islands, like Desert with 12 or Jungle with around 21, you'll probably want to choose just one and a smaller one. Or if you're choosing islands like Volcano, say you want a volcanic one, you are going to want to choose 2. Because trust me, waiting for 7 spawns to respawn is not fun. I already know it by heart. I had that trouble with Forest. Forest is another really small one. I've really only found 2 horses this way, 2 IUH horses. This method works the exact same way for events too. You can just use it to find events. I know I find some sometimes. It makes it very helpful. Honestly, my best advice I can give you guys on this is, it does take a long time. There's no immediate, like, oh, how do I get an IUH to spawn? It's mostly luck. I think I covered this in my original video about it. It is almost entirely luck. Like, yes, you can respawn and respawn and respawn, or just keep refreshing. Or if you choose to do this in public servers, you can just keep server hopping. And even then, when it comes down to it, it's mostly luck. There's no real trick to it beyond that. There's no, like, special spawn points. There's no whatever else you've been told. I know I still get people being like, you should go to this island. I caught mine there. But, like, they'll give me a specific spawn point. That's just a myth. I will say, if you guys do want those specifics, while it makes no difference, this spawn point here, I've caught 3 IUH horses, and there's another spawn point, it's up here, right here, I have caught 2 there. But even so, an IUH can spawn on literally any of these spawn points. I know my sister caught one right here, she caught a blue pearl. I don't really know where my friend caught their blue pearl, but I'm fairly certain it was a spawn point right next to Hogan. So, as I said, there's no, like, specific spawn point. I think I've just been a little lucky with those specific 2. But it's a very long process. It's very annoying. So I wouldn't really focus too hard or get too upset on it. If you have stuff to do, just do that instead. It's really good if you want to just watch a movie while doing this, though, because it does take a very long time. Especially if you're doing it in batches of, like, 400 lassos, like I've seen quite a few people do. It's a tedious and annoying process, but you guys, I'm sure you guys know that by now. While rare, you can also find IUH horses in herds. I'm just running after this one because I need to catch it. It's been here for like an hour and a half now, and I've just kind of ignored it. Alright guys, I think that's it for this video. It's not very long, but neither was my original tutorial. I hope I provided you with all the resources I can. All of the credits for any of the maps and stuff are on screen around that time, but I'll say them one more time. Thank you guys so much. I especially want to thank Queen Tofu and Sylvia. They made a lot of the maps, and I just kind of added my paths to it. I hope this helps you guys. It's really the best advice I can give. But overall, I'd say don't stress too much about getting an IUH. You'll get one eventually. And on top of that, their value's just dropping, so you'll be fine. You'll be able to get one eventually, whether through trading or catching it yourself. So from Mulan and I here, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in another video, and good morning for now.